first one that comes to mind is a lady named Ashlyn. She has been a drug addict for years. She was going through horrible trauma. At 6 and 7 years old, she was raped by her uncle and her dad. She went into anxiety, depression, panic attacks, bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder. When I met her, she's in her mid to late 20s. She has a 1 and 3-year-old daughter who are heavy asthma victims, probably best word. They're on their inhalers. She's on 400 milligrams a day of Seroquel. She's on Buspirone. She's on Zoloft. So she's just really heavy with this. And she went through the prayer of freedom. There's a little worksheet in the back that you go through that makes it work. Sample prayers that you use to nullify these spiritual torments that go on in our lives. She says she woke up the next day and completely free. She went to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist says, if you don't need the meds, stop taking them. That was 6 months ago. The other thing that happened was she noticed that when she got free, that both her daughters, the 1 and 3-year-old, that were heavy inhaler users with their asthma, it all stopped. They could run around, jump, be fully active, no asthma issues, no more inhalers. Everything disappeared because what they'd been diagnosed as a medical disease and a mental issue was nothing but a spiritual issue, that when you handle it spiritually, it all disappeared. And that's one of many testimonies and stories I could tell you.
Wow. Whew. Okay, so I know you have many, and if you read the book, you'll see the stories. Okay, so my question is, so I read the book, I did the worksheet, I had a lot of things that I've forgotten about, sins that I wrote down, a lot of people to forgive and all that stuff. I did that, and I was doing the prayer. Now, how do we know, because this is personal to me, like I have knee pain and back pain. If it's not spiritual, it's not gonna clear up, right?
Correct. So I'll give you a perfect example. Right. I mean, so here's what happens. And yeah, it's like a doctor. Watch this. A doctor says, you go to the doctor and says, doctor, I've got this problem. He asks you a question and says, well, I think it's this. Let's try this therapy. And if it works, then that was the right diagnosis. So you try the therapy, it doesn't work. Okay, it's not that. Let's try something else. And that's how you know if your issue is a spiritual root issue or not. I was out, I remember working years back, I was out someplace, Walmart, someone had tennis elbow. So I got him through the process and the tennis elbow disappeared. No more pain. Come back home, my wife has tennis elbow. Got her through the process, still got tennis elbow. So one was a spiritual root manifesting as tennis elbow. The other one was truly tennis elbow. So that's how you know whether it's spiritual or not, is you just try it and see what happens.
Okay. Now, another question. You can pray for your family. How far out? Like I was doing nieces, nephews. Mm-hmm. I just figured I'll just throw them all in case it can help, right? You know, with the list of infirmities. How far out can you pray for someone else?
Yeah, so let me give some backstory to our audience to help this. Yeah, right. But without the context, our listeners and viewers are going to be going, "Oh, what's going on? This sounds a little wacky."
All right. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So let me catch everyone up to speed where you already have passed. Right. You've gone through this process.
And can you tell us, how you got into? Like, can you go back a little? I'm sorry. Now my head is clear. Can you go back a little as to how this started and what you were doing before this?
Yeah, so let me give everyone. Let me give you the short backstory on me and what's going on with the prayer of freedom. So I was born into a family of 7 generations of medical doctors, going back almost 200 years. I married my sweetheart from college years. Her dad was also a medical doctor, and he's passed away now, but about 20 years ago. But he had been practicing medicine as a general practitioner and internist for 50 years. So medical is very big in my family. And he clarifies and shares really succinctly, here's what the medical healthcare system used to be. that healthcare is tied to three things. It's your mental, physical, and spiritual. And so my father-in-law would sit you down, you have a problem, and he would talk to you, and he's analyzing mental, physical, and spiritual to identify what is the source of the problem. Once he thinks he has it, then he would guide you in it, and he was pretty darn accurate, because when you look at all three pillars, the three stools of healthcare, it always consistently works. But over the years, last 20 or 30 years so, it seems like the medical community, healthcare community, has become atheistic, and they removed the spiritual leg.